Hello YouTube, hi guys. This video is in response to a comment from one of our viewers, Joanne Amantea. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. And in response to our video about how do we add images to our Gmail signatures. Now, if you don't have a website for whatever reason, and that's okay, you might need to use something like Google Drive to serve those images. And so Joanne asks, one of the things we don't address is if someone saved their signature file to their Google Drive. I created my signature in Procreate and uploaded the JPEG file to my Google Drive. I selected the insert a photo icon in settings and selected web address as per the directions. The image did not show until I set the sharing permissions to this file. Anyone can edit it. When I went back to my signature settings, the image did not show. Now, that's the bit that we're going to address in this video. I'm going to show you how to take an image that you've got in your Google Drive and actually make it work when you're using an email signature, okay? And again, this is very specific. You have to have a particular configuration for the URL or for the address path to the image, all right? So let's start with the simple bits, okay? And Joanne, thanks very much for the question. Let's get into it. So the first thing is we need an image inside of our Google Drive. Now I've got just a very simple placeholder. It's 250 pixels, and that is my image that I'm going to use in this presentation. Now in my Gmail signature, I'm going to create a new signature, and I'm going to do one called Demo Google Drive Images. Okay, so there it is. Now, as Joanne points out, if you sort of do an insert image and you just copy this one, or let's actually do this. Let's go on to share. And let's change the restriction on how this is set up to go anyone with a link. All right, that's good. Now we'll copy that link, click on done. And if I go over here and I go web address URL, which is how I want to include it, I'm going to click that. It appears to show in here. Then I'll click select, but I get this little icon down here that says, well, actually, no, I can't show that at all. It's not going to work. All right, so there's our problem. That's what we're going to try and resolve today. So the way this works is we have to tell Google Drive to serve that image directly. And if I take that same URL and I just paste that straight in here, it's going to give me this interface, right, which has got this wrapper and stuff around it. So that's why this image isn't showing. So we need to change this so that actually what happens is we just get this image being displayed. Okay, so let's look at why that is. So we've got our correct file path that is the one that we've just copied from Google Drive, okay? And that looks like this. It says drive.google.com, file, and then some garbage, and then view USP sharing, okay? So this last little bit, the view USP sharing, is telling it to use that interface with the wrapper and stuff around it. Now, the important bit to this is actually the bit between these slashes. So the /view USP sharing we can ignore, but if we go back and we get the bit of garbage that we need, now that's the file identifier, and it's unique to your file in your Google Drive account across Google Drive everywhere, all right? So that's the bit we're going to concentrate on. So we're going to copy that bit out, and we're going to construct a new URL. Okay, now that new URL looks like this. It says drive.google.com/uc export equals view. Now this bit here, this export equals view, is really important because that now tells Google Drive, instead of wrapping it in that sort of interface, we just want to view. We don't want to do anything else, we just want to view it. And then we've got and ID equals, and then our unique identifier. Okay, so now that is going to display our image. Okay, so now if I take that URL and I paste it now into a new window and I click go, instead of all of those, you see how there's no items in the corners, and I can actually grab hold of that image and see it. If I inspect the page here, the only thing on the page is that image, right? See, there's a body tag and then there's this image. And that's it. There's nothing else there. So this is perfect. That's exactly what we want to have. All right, so coming back to our process, what do we need to do? So we need to take our file ID and put it into a new URL. So that's our export view. And then we need to embed it into an image HTML image tag. Okay, now when you're using the signature builder directly, you don't need to know this bit, but it's good knowledge. So this is an HTML image tag, and the first bit is image source, image src equals. Apologies for the wrapping, that's just the way the slide is working in Google Slides. And then we've got our URL that we've built. So that's the one we just tested and we pasted into the browser that gives us just the image on the page. And you can see that's encompassed in double quotes here and here. And then we've just got an alt tag, my business logo. So that's this bit here, alt my business logo, okay? Now, if we were to take that image tag, put it into an HTML file and open that HTML file, as if we were building our HTML signature ourselves, then this would now display that. So I've got a little HTML file here, and you can see I've just started my HTML source. So what I'm going to do is now just copy that and put that into my HTML file. Okay, and I'm going to save this and we'll open it up. Okay, cool. So now I've got this file, it's called signature demo. So we're going to open that up in a web browser and see what it does. Okay, here we go. So what's happened there? All right, so the reason that that's not worked is because these little double quotes and stuff are actually coming out incorrectly. They are the wrong HTML quotes. So I'm just going to have to replace all of these. Just give me one sec. Okay, so now I've got my HTML signature demo document. I've corrected those quotes. There's a difference. They might look the same, but they are different the way they're encoded. And now if I refresh my HTML file, I get nothing but that image on there, okay? So that's what this image tag here does with double quotes and our file ID, okay? So now we've got that file, we can go and try that in our signature editor. So coming back to my signature, what I'll do is I'll just delete this one out of here. And then I'm going to click on insert image again, use the web address URL, and then paste my new image into here. Now we're going to get much the same thing. It's still going to show in here, but this time when I click select, it's now going to appear in my preview for the signature, okay? And now that means when I go and create an email and this signature is applied to it, it's now going to work. And Joanna, hopefully that answers your question. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.